And today, a precursor to who's going to win the MVP award. Because 50 voters, AP has 50 voters that voted for the All-Pro team, right? And those happen to be the same 50 voters that pick the MVP. And those voters named Aaron Rodgers as the starting quarterback on the first team All-Pro. All right, Tom Brady was second. Rodgers got 34 votes of the 50. Brady got 16. So I made the case earlier in the week. I think it was earlier in the week or last week.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
That Tom Brady should be the MVP. I believed Rodgers would probably win it. Now I believe he certainly will win it. So this is no surprise, but I made the case that Tom Brady should be the MVP. But it looks like it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, and quite an achievement for him, second straight year.
No doubt. And you remember, Chris, early on in the football season, I picked Lamar.
I think it was week 7 you changed.
No, was it that late? It was week 2.
I'm just messing with you.
No, I was going to say.
It was going into week 3. It was after, after the week 2 game.
You're right.
Yeah.
After the week
after
2,
the
you're
week
right.
2 game.
I mean, that's pretty good. And I said, I picked Lamar Jackson, and I was like, nah, I'm going to switch. I changed. I said it would be Aaron Rodgers, and I was right. Aaron Rodgers.
You picked the easy one. It was obvious.
Yeah, okay, that was obvious. Tom Brady had 1,000,000 yards. But I think they got it right. I think people were trying to say, did he have the numbers he had last year, Chris? No. He had unbelievable numbers last year, right? And by comparison.
His numbers weren't as different as you may think, though. Because he only averaged, I think he averaged fewer than 270 yards a game last year.
Yeah, but he had 43 touchdowns
he had more
right?
touchdowns.
He had more touchdowns.
In fewer games. Well, he did play 16 this year, too.
Yeah. And he had how many this year? 40? Was it 40?
He had 37. 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Right, but the interception's ridiculous. We already know that, and he's the
right,
greatest.
That's his
thing. Right, that's his strength. All right, but I just thought he was a driving force. We saw the couple of big wins we talked about against playoff teams, Chris, on the road, right? The degree of difficulty. We saw the Arizona without his top 3 receivers. We saw the 49ers game with 37 seconds left. Yes, he's in the NFC North, and the Lions are there. They actually split with the Lions.
He only played, half that last game.
Right.
So.
And if he would have played, it was kind of downtrodden. Right. Whatever.
To your point, Rob, last year's numbers, just quick, they were crazy.
They were crazy.
Basically 71% completions. This year, 69, so little drop. But when you see that 70, it's like, wow. He had 48 touchdowns last year. Remember, in 16 games, and only 5 interceptions.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The interceptions were.
Yeah,
the
yardage was
more.
what wasn't that different. Yardage he threw for about 269 a game. This year, 257. So that's a little bit different, but not huge. But he had his passer rating last year was incredible, 121.
No, that's his second best
this
ever.
Year, 111.9. Right. Yeah, second best to himself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that obviously they had the top seed again in the NFC. And it wasn't just about putting up gaudy numbers. And I get it. I know Bruce Arians was like, if Tom Brady doesn't get it, what did he say? Is it a travesty?
It's a travesty, which is an overstatement. And he knows it, but that's his guy.
He's trying to sell his
guy. He can believe he should have won.
Yeah.
But a travesty, no.
Yeah, a travesty, no. And not when you're talking about Aaron Rodgers and how well he played, especially, Chris, when you think about just the first game. I know you don't throw him out, but that first game was so bad, so ugly. I think we argued. Didn't we argue with Ephraim? Remember, Ephraim kind of came down. I don't know if he really wants to play and all that. You remember?
Yeah. Everybody was questioning, because of the offseason. And I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. Look, New Orleans has a very good defense. They shut down Brady, and they shut down Rodgers. So maybe that was some of it. But for some reason, Rob, he wasn't ready for that game. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
He
remember,
just wasn't into
it was a change of venue, remember? because the
Right.
game was played in Florida, I think at Jacksonville. But I guess, Chris, what I would ask you is the Brady getting shut out that late in the season. Do you think that was the defining
I was
moment,
just
don't
about
you?
to say, yeah, because
I think that
would you agree that Brady was ahead at that? He was ahead in the odds makers and all the odds.
And
Do
then
you
it
think he was
flipped.
ahead at that point?
Yeah, I think that there was a way closer race. And I think Brady might have been a little bit ahead. Not like miles
the
ahead.
odds had him ahead, but who knows what the voters were thinking. But yeah, he was ahead. I do agree, Rob. Like if you flip the script and Brady's bad game came
Was week
in
one.
week 1. Right. And
Aaron's
Rodgers had the same game he had against New Orleans at
It would hurt
week
you.
13 or yeah, that was it. Which I don't think is how it should be, but that tends to be how it is, whether it's the Heisman, whether it's, obviously
it's what people last see, Chris, and they
Right.
just go, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? We always talk about that. And not that Brady finished terrible, but he had that game, and I think the game after that he only had 1 touchdown. It was 2 weeks where he just wasn't as prolific as he had been the rest of the year. You could take a look. Was it 1 touchdown the next week? He got shut out, and then it was, I think, only 1. So he had those 2 weeks, and I think that hurt him, but the shutout definitely hurt him.
What I think, Rob, and I said this
Am I
on
right
the
or wrong
show.
on that? Did you see it? Can you see the game logs, or you're not looking?
Yeah, he did have
Right.
it was against Carolina. They
And he only
won going away, but he only had 1 touchdown.
Right, okay.
18 for 30, that's okay. But I said this all year, Rodgers was more consistent. Like Rodgers really, after the bad game to open it up, he didn't have a bad game. Not a bad game.
No, right.
And
no.
And he had a lot of, he didn't
2
have the
touchdowns,
highs.
no
He didn't have
picks,
the
right.
peaks. Yeah, he didn't have the peaks that Brady had, which is what I was making a big part of my argument. Brady had some gaudy games, 5 touchdowns, a lot of 4 touchdown games. Obviously threw for a lot more yards. But Brady was a little more inconsistent. Obviously, he had more the interceptions.
How many interceptions and fumbles did he have, Brady?
He had
total turnovers.
They both, I don't know how many fumbles he had, but he had
like 12.
He had 12 interceptions.
Yeah.
He had 43 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. I'll find the fumbles in a moment. I don't know if there was a big difference in the fumbles between him and Rodgers.
I'm just asking. I don't remember.
You watch the games, you never saw Rodgers throw interceptions. You saw Brady throw some interceptions. Some
Right.
of them were drops. He had a lot more drops than Rodgers. Some of them deflected, and bounced off the receiver and were picked off. But hey, it is what it is. But I just think he was a little more up and down than he was. He was a more up and down than Rodgers. His ups were higher, but he had a few more downs than Rodgers had.
I think Aaron Rodgers has a chance if they can win a Super Bowl or at least get there, but win a Super Bowl, Chris, and cap this year off with back-to-back MVPs. I think people feel way better about him and his career.
God. You mean if he wins the Super Bowl?
Yeah, if he wins the Super Bowl coming off of back-to-back MVPs. Like I think as good as he is and all the other numbers, and we get all that, I just think it would raise him to another level. I really do.
No doubt.
Am I right?
I'm going to give you.
It would
No,
raise
there's no
him.
doubt. There's no doubt. Like, I think, and we talked about this on First Things First today, and Nick Wright said this. This is his take. And I want to get your thoughts on it, though. He said that modern day Mount Rushmore, modern day, so Johnny Unitas, Otto Graham, guys like that. Modern day
Sid
Mount
Luckman.
Rushmore. Right. Is he's got, it's Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, and he feels like that fourth is kind of open, that fourth spot. And he said if Rodgers wins the Super Bowl this year, it's his. Period. The end. Where are you at on that? I mean, it's hard to argue that.
No, it is. I mean, some people might
Bradshaw's
say
got 4, but he wasn't as good. I mean,
no,
do you want to put Staubach on there?
Some people might say John Elway. John Elway won back-to-back Super Bowls.
Right now, would you put Elway? Yeah, Elway.
I'm just saying,
is probably most people's.
Yeah, I'm just saying right
but
now.
I think Rodgers was clearly a better thrower to football.
Oh, no doubt about it. I agree with you, but I do think
Elway did get to 5 Super Bowls, though.
Right.
I mean, they got hammered.
Most of the time, they got
2 or 3
hammered,
of them.
and
Yeah.
early. The first 3
Right.
were like, if I remember,
Right.
didn't they have one Super Bowl? The
Well,
first
Dallas
play was
just
like a
destroyed them.
they got destroyed like almost every year.
Yeah,
That's when the
yeah.
Super Bowls and a lot of
Oh,
younger
gosh.
fans don't know. They used to be terrible to watch. They were
Rob,
the worst games.
There's nothing worse than a bad Super Bowl.
Bad. And
Nothing
they used
worse
to be
than a bad
blowouts.
Super Bowl.
It used
Yep.
to always be like one team is ready and one team ain't ready.
Gosh. Yeah, they were bad. But
So
would you agree? I mean, it's hard to argue.
no, I wouldn't argue
If
that. I
Aaron
think
Rodgers
that's fair.
gets 2, that's really that's the only, and I think it is a big deficiency on his resume, Rob. And I know you're big on the, getting to the big game, whether it's the NBA Finals, whether it's the Super Bowl, and losing. I don't know if you think it's worse than not getting there, but I do think it hurts Rodgers that he's only been to one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not only that he's won one, he's only been to one, and that was a decade ago.
But this will be something if they were able to win and somehow, I don't know. I'm just obviously
it would be huge for his legacy.
It would be
which
huge.
is already great, but yeah.
And then, with that team and where they are, I mean, like he's gotten better. He's 37, Chris, with a second straight MVP. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
He could play. Tom Brady's playing at 44. Aaron Rodgers could have literally 3 more years, like 3 more good years.
Look, we said it before. Brady went a decade. I mean, we just talked about Rodgers a decade in between Super Bowls.
And then he won 3.
If he gets there, and Brady went a decade without winning it. Yeah,
right.
And then won. Yeah, so
4.
I mean, a late career run by Rodgers isn't out of the question.
No, he's still young enough and not beat up. Again, we talk about it all the time as well.
Yeah, he's in good shape. Yeah,
and he didn't play his first 3 years, Chris.
Right, he's showing no signs of decline. So I don't know if he'll go as long as Brady.
No, I don't think so.
But he's got 3. I say easily 3 more years in him after this. So